Picture this, you have a brilliant business idea that involves an app that you're going to create. You hire a team of developers, you work hard on it, and then when it's all said and done, you have a product that's unusable, you're way over budget, and your timeline is shot. Even worse, there's no path forward. I'm Matt, your friendly neighborhood CTO, and I have seen this countless times. And today I'm going to cover the 5 biggest mistakes that non-technical founders and CEOs make when initiating a technical project. Technical mistakes can kill a company, or it can take the company to the next level. It all depends on the implementation and what you're working on. For most businesses, creating an app isn't the end-all be-all. It might be if that's your focus. Something like Uber, yeah, they need an app. But for most companies, it can be a differentiating factor or it can be a key to unlocking operational efficiencies. You don't need to be a programmer, but you do need some advice. You need to understand the technical landscape in order to make good tech decisions. All right, here we are. Mistake number 1, misaligned business objectives and goals with your technology projects. I've heard founders and CEOs say, oh, I need to build this app. Well, why do you need to build the app? Well, because that's what our customers need. Okay, why do they need that? Well, because they call into the office a lot. Why do they call into the office a lot? And well, because they can't do things for themselves. Okay, so what is the app going to do? Well, it's going to be a chat app, but doesn't that just defeat the purpose? Isn't that replacing a phone call with a chat? Think of that example, which I've heard several times. What they really need is they need to wait for the customers to pay their invoices or whatever. Their customers need to self-service their account. So building that particular app that's a chat app is no good. That's not going to help anyone. You need to start with business goal or the problem, and then you need to come up with a solution instead of a solution looking for the problem. You want to know how to fix these problems? I'll cover them at the end. You can also book a call with me in the link below in the description, and I'd love to chat with you and see how we can work together. Number 2, building too much too soon. Solving problems that don't exist. It's similar to number 1, where the business goal is not aligned with the tech project, but a lot of times the technology, the team will work on things for the what if scenario. Well, sometimes what if doesn't happen. Or maybe we're working on optimizing a report that we run once a quarter. Let's say it takes a minute, which is a very long time for a report to run. But if we only run it 4 times a year, do we really want to spend a month or 2 weeks working on a solution to that problem that saves us 4 minutes a year? That's not worth it. That's a problem that's really prevalent, especially in engineers. They love to solve problems. They don't care about the problem. They don't care that the solution to the problem provides little business value, because to them, solving the problem is the value. So if you give them good problems to solve, they can solve those problems. Okay, mistake number 3 is skipping market validation. The phrase, if you build it, they will come, is not true. I've seen this a lot of times where founders will build a solution to a problem and then they'll take it to the market, and then the market is crickets because that's not a real problem for them. So if you see, the first 3 are very closely related, slightly different, little nuanced, but they are related. Problem number 4, choosing the wrong development team. It's really hard to build software development teams, and it's really hard to run software projects. Most projects fail. Projects fail not because of technology, but because of people. And that could be misaligned goals, as we've discussed, or it could be the team isn't working well together. It could be a lack of direction. It could be pivoting too much. On pivoting, I don't answer my phone during the day unless it's someone in my family. And I'll always focus on what I'm working on with that block of time. I set aside time to handle phone calls and emails, but I don't just randomly answer phone calls or respond to emails immediately. I do that so I can stay focused, just as you need your tech team to stay focused. You don't need them focused on 3 different things. You need to focus on one thing. Okay, mistake number 5. This is a big one too, ignoring technical debt. Now, most people, when they go to buy a house, they take out a loan, and it's a conscious decision to incur some debt and to take that debt and use it to buy an asset. Think of the development process the same way. You're paying these people to do work. They're building a product for you. Sometimes they will take shortcuts, and those shortcuts are called technical debt. We want to minimize the amount of shortcuts we take. One phrase I've used is, you wouldn't put your software development on a credit card, but you would, or you would maybe get a loan, as far as an analogy goes, because a loan is a lower interest rate and the overall cost is lower in the long run. One way we've done this with a client is the insurance company we worked for. They had a claims entry system, and it took 15 minutes to enter a claim. That app could have been refactored so that it reduced the amount of time, but we looked at it and that wasn't feasible. It would have taken longer, to fix it than it would to rewrite it. We also expanded the scope and features of the app, which did cost more, but those were valuable to the client. The client drove the project, the team doesn't. The team works with the client to help them understand what's important from a technical standpoint, what has dependencies, and how to achieve the best result. In that project, the claim entry process ended up taking 15 to 30 seconds. That's a huge savings. All right, so now how do we avoid these mistakes? Number one, the mistake of misaligned technical objectives and business goals. You need to start with a goal first and then come up with the solution. The best way to do that in a business sense for technology is a technical roadmap. That is basically a roadmap on how to get from point A to point B. It's a living document. Think of it like a GPS. Number two, building features too soon. Well, the answer is to not to. Don't do that. Don't build the feature that you don't need. Don't build the solution to the problem that doesn't exist. This is where some good project management, whether you're using Scrum or Kanban, can help you take the problem and minimize the amount of work it takes to get to the solution, right? That's what we're after. We're after the solution to the problem. We're not after writing code. Skipping market validation, easy one to do that for number three is a simple market research study. If you're in the industry that you're going to build the app in, talk to people in your industry. Would this be a problem that you would like to solve? Ask them things like, how much would you pay for this solution, assuming that it worked exactly the way you wanted it? Is $10 a month per user cheap? About right? Expensive? How about 100? Throw numbers at them so that they can really take a look, and they'll give you a good gut feel on what is best for that app as far as pricing goes. And then when you get a lot of common answers, then you have a result and you have data you can make a business decision off of. Number four, the wrong development team. You need technical leadership. If you don't have space or budget for a full-time CTO, get a fractional CTO. If you don't use me, use someone else. It's very important that you have the leadership and the guidance to run your business. Number five, ignoring technical debt. This is a trade-off. It's always a decision about speed versus time it takes to get there and the maintainability of the application. Maintainability is extremely important. I don't know every programming language, but I can look through a Git repository and say, all right, this person is doing a good job, or look at another one. This one is a hot pile of garbage. We need to do some refactoring. It's very simple. Like if the file is 8,000 lines long, it's doing more than one thing. We need to take a look at that and address the issues. And along the lines of encompassing all of this is when you're building an app or a website or something like that, a web application, build an MVP first. Minimum viable product, that's still the best way to go about it, is start small and increment. If this has been helpful at all, I'd love you to subscribe, like the video, share it. I'd love to help as many people as I can. And if you want personalized guidance on these types of decisions, you can book a call with me in the link in the description below, and we can take a look at what you've got and how I can help. Remember, you don't need to be a super technical person to make good technical decisions. You just need a good advisor, a good technical person in your corner. Thanks for watching, and I'm here to help you succeed.